The ongoing storm surrounding the welterweight showdown between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena has taken another sharp turn, and this time it comes through the voice of Alexander Volkanovski, who recently dropped a detailed breakdown that peeled back the tactical layers of this matchup in a way only a former champion can. From the moment he began speaking, it was clear he wasn't just analyzing two fighters. He was dissecting two worlds colliding. He talked about Islam with a level of respect that bordered on fascination, pointing out how the lightweight champion operates with an instinct built from a lifetime immersed in grappling, wrestling, and combat rhythms that cannot be taught in classrooms or learned through short training camps. To Volk, Islam's reactions in the cage aren't rehearsed or consciously constructed. They are wired into him like a second language he has spoken since childhood. His timing, his composure, and his transitions under pressure don't arise from strategy alone. They come from endless rounds of repetition in Dagestani gyms where boys grow up learning how to clinch, how to scramble, how to breathe in chaos until it feels like home. But Volkanovski didn't stop there. He turned his attention to Jack Della Maddalena, acknowledging the sharp growth he has shown on the mat despite being primarily known as a striker. Volk made it clear that Jack's scrambling is special, describing the fluidity, the speed, and the intuition that allow him to slip out of danger and create space. Even so, the gap between their strengths is unmistakable. While Jack's skills are impressive for someone whose roots lie in striking, Islam exists in a different realm altogether, where grappling is not a tool but a foundation. Volk warned Jack against leaning too heavily into the comfort of his newfound confidence on the ground. Keeping the fight standing is where Jack thrives, and if he lets the momentum drift toward the mat, the danger multiplies instantly. For Volk, the clearest path is to stay stubborn on the feet, to use heavy hips, relentless urgency, and explosive resets to deny Islam even a moment of control. Islam, hearing the analysis, responded with the same unshakable respect he has always shown for Volkanovski. He called Volk a warrior to the core, a fighter who can push for hours without hesitation, a man built for battles that test the mind as much as the body. Their mutual respect has become one of the most consistent themes in their rivalry, reminding the world that beneath all the intensity, these are two elite athletes sharpened by discipline, not ego. Yet the conversation shifts dramatically when Herb Dean enters the picture. Fresh off a wave of controversy surrounding the recent eye poke incidents, Herb decided it was time to break his silence and reveal what was happening behind closed doors. When he joined Michael Bisping's show, he explained that the real issue was not the rulebook itself but the inconsistency in how the rules had been applied. After the chaotic eye poke situations involving Tom Aspinall and Waldo Cortez Acosta, the UFC and athletic commissions launched a series of meetings to revisit the regulations and enforce clearer standards. According to Herb, those discussions are still unfolding. Changes are already forming and adjustments will continue as the committee keeps refining how fouls should be identified, penalized, and monitored. Herb emphasized that fighters should face harsher penalties when an eye poke happens during an offensive action, not just during defensive posturing. The Cortez Acosta incident stood out as an example that, in Herb's mind, should have immediately resulted in a point deduction before the fight continued. Moving forward, he expects referees to be more proactive, more detailed, and more willing to use replay to catch fouls that unfold too fast in real time. He believes stricter enforcement is the only path to preventing another disastrous ending like the one fans witnessed before. Meanwhile, another storyline is unfolding far away from the controversy, one that has sent a wave of excitement through the MMA world. Jon Jones has arrived in New York, and this time it isn't for press tours or promotional duties. MMA outlets confirmed that Jones will reunite with Islam Makhachev and Khabib Nurmagomedov for a series of intense training sessions ahead of UFC 322. This crossover of champions feels like something pulled straight from a dream scenario for fans. Years ago, Jones traveled to Dagestan for seminars and gym visits, but back then, neither Khabib nor Islam were a part of the equation. Now, the three icons are set to share the mat, bringing together one of the greatest fighters of all time and one of the most dominant camps the sport has ever known. The connection between them runs deeper than most realize. Javier Mendez, head coach of Team Khabib, has long trained fighters who came through Jackson Wink, the very camp that shaped Jones. Their worlds were always orbiting in the same direction. Now they finally intersect. Rustam Khabilov, Jones's longtime training partner, confirmed that both Islam and Khabib will be there to welcome him, fueling anticipation that the sessions will produce insights, footage, or even just glimpses of a rare collaboration between champions who understand dominance at the highest level. But Islam has more on his mind than cross-training and upcoming fights. In a recent appearance on Main Event, he opened up about a mission that runs deeper than title defenses or rankings. Jack Della Maddalena once defeated his Dagestani teammate Ramazan Emeev, and Islam has not forgotten. In his mind, stepping into the cage with Jack isn't just about securing another victory. It's about settling a score and honoring the brotherhood he grew up with. He dismissed the idea that Jack can close the gap by bringing in Craig Jones, no matter how respected the grappling expert is. To Islam, short-term training fixes cannot replicate the decades of discipline required to reach championship-level grappling. He compares it to recent cases like Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus du Plessis, reminding fans that you cannot become elite through patchwork preparation. Islam brushed off the pound-for-pound rankings entirely, calling them something created by outsiders and not reflective of what actually happens inside the cage. In his eyes, belts matter, legacy matters, and performance matters, but lists built by anonymous panels do not. As all these threads weave together, the anticipation around Makhachev versus Jack grows by the day. Technical debates, personal motivations, rule changes, cross-camp training, and the ever-present shadow of legacy have turned this matchup into something far bigger than a simple title defense. It feels like the sport is standing on the edge of another defining moment. What do you think about the growing tension between Islam and Jack Della Maddalena? Could Jack's striking create the upset many believe is impossible, or will Islam's experience and lifelong grappling foundation be too much to overcome? And what about the rule changes Herb Dean hinted at? Will stricter enforcement help prevent future controversies? Share your thoughts below, and if you enjoy deep-dive MMA breakdowns like this, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss what comes next.